Hi, it's Peter here. A street photographer has to be alert all the time and be ready to shoot something else even though he or she is shooting something or photographing something. We always need to look around. I was walking on Alexander Street, which is right in downtown Helsinki. It's one of the main streets in downtown Helsinki. It starts from Senate Square and goes all the way to Stockman's department store on the other side, right next to Mannerheimintie. And I went out because it was a rainy day and, bad weather and rain, that's a great time to photograph. It's a great weather to photograph because there are so many elements added to the scene when it's raining. You get the umbrellas, you get all kinds of stuff and reflections and the wet ground looks good on a photograph. I was out shooting because I was, getting images for this particular video about the importance of number 3 in photographs. And I will put a link to the video also in the description of this video so you can watch it afterwards. The photographing. I was making images like this, but I wasn't really happy with the images. And on the other hand, I was just starting out. I just came there to Alexander Street and looked a few familiar places that if there's something happening, because I know this puddle, or there will be a puddle in, I know this puddle, pretty strange way to say it. But yes, I know that there's going to be a puddle in front of this tram stop, so I was looking around here, and then what I saw on the side of my eye while I was thinking about an image on this, I saw this group of people talking in the background and saw this guy with the red raincoat and thought that this might be interesting. I need to just keep my eye on if something happened, and yes, it did. He was posing and I quickly reacted and took the shot. Of course, the reacting part wasn't in a way the same that you just take an image quickly when you see something. This was something that I was observing, that something might happen. And yes, I was a bit lucky that he was posing here. Quite a happy accident that happened here. And I will talk a little bit later a bit more why I like this image. I only took one image and then just moved on a little bit, but turned and see if something else will happen, because I don't know why he was posing right there. There's probably something that he was connected with the clothing store, or I have no idea why he was there, but I'm lucky he was. And then the image itself, why do I like it and why I took it? I very seldom have an image in mind when I go out and photograph, street photographs, that is. I might have an idea of what type of images I'm making, or like now I did have, because it was raining, I was looking for reflections, and of course the theme was showing the importance of number 3. So I had that kind of an idea, but I didn't have any images in my mind particularly. I just usually start with some familiar things that I know, like the puddle as I was talking about at the beginning. I just go somewhere that I know there might be a possibility to get an image and start from there and progressing the thing what I'm photographing and see where it takes me. Sometimes I don't get any keepers, sometimes more, and okay, this time I got a few pretty good ones, I think, but I think this one was the best of them all on this particular photo walk, and also the most interesting image from June. I was a bit lucky, like you always need some luck when you're photographing on the streets, because you can't really know what happens and you have to react quickly. And as I said, on this particular one, the reaction time was only when I took the shot. The beginning part was more about observing the situation and seeing what's going to happen, or is there something that's going to happen. On this particular photo walk, there were very many situations where I was just waiting and nothing really interesting happened. So when I show images, you have to remember that it's one particular image from a couple of hours of walking and waiting and doing photography. So it's not always easy, and sometimes, as I said, I might come out empty and nothing really special comes out. So it's not very easy. Like in this video, I was talking about how hard street photographs are, or taking street photographs are, or is. One reason I like this image is that it kind of tells a story, or not really a story, but it raises some questions. Why was he in front of this particular clothing store? I don't think it was these two guys, so that there is the third one. Maybe it was, but he was a bit further away. But there is probably some inside joke with these people, because they were talking about it directing a guy, hey, you should go there and take a photograph, because there was someone taking a photograph of him with the mobile phone, and they were laughing and you know, talking a lot when they walked past. So there's something about it, and that's always an interesting thing when you really don't know what's going on and why is he doing this, because it's not a tourist site or anything, or not a statue, not, you know, there's I just can't figure it out, and that's why I think there's a bit of a mystery. At the same time, I like the image because it's a bit humorous. There is certain comedy in this because of the whole thing, and of course the red raincoat I think is really cool, and the blue sneakers, the green background, the ad of the store, and then of course second part is the other advertisement on the wall of the building with the two faces, like, and this adds to the third phase, or this will be the third phase. And there's also a triangle, which I was talking about that video. So there is a lot of things in this image, and I think the triangle thing is quite important because that guides your eye, and so that your eyes don't wander off the side of the image, which, you know, usually is an indication that you lose some interest, unless you have two images side by side, which is another thing where you want people to wander out and see the other image, but that's a different story. This image is, I think, standalone image works quite well. And also one thing why I like this image is that it goes quite well with the previous story of an images. So I have similar type of images and similar type of things that has happened when I've taken these images, and I hope you have enjoyed these videos, and please tell me in the comments down below if you want to see more of these, because to be honest, these are not easy videos, even though it's easier to talk about an image than talk about some tips. But the problem is that I really need to get these images. I need to photograph them and possibly even get some B-roll when making the image. That would be good, and luckily I did have this time. But before we get into the editing part, a few words about my one-on-one sessions. Getting feedback is really important, and if you want to have feedback on your images and want me to guide you towards somewhere, what I see in your images and what I think you should do better, or what would make you a better photographer, please go to my Webstore and check out the options and purchase the one-on-one sessions. And after that I will contact you and we will set up a date and time where we do our Zoom call, and you send me images before the actual call and I go through them, and then we'll discuss your photography through your images one-on-one, and it's about an hour session. So I will have a link in the description about the one-on-one sessions, and yeah, if you want some feedback, that's one option to get some feedback. And then about the editing, yes, I did crop the image because I was a bit further away and I wasn't close enough. If I had moved closer, probably the situation had gone past and the guy would have looked straight into my camera, and I didn't want that because then it would be a different direction than these two on the ad on the side. Well, it could have worked, but I think this way it's better like this. And then I added some contrast and boosted up the colors and made it a bit oversaturated, and I think I made it to look a little bit more towards the other images that I've had in this series about story of an image. So in that sense it fits with those two, and it's not an intention to make all the images similar, but to be honest, I might have a beginning of something with these images. I don't know where this leads to. Hopefully something interesting and something where I can show these images to a wider audience. Here is a playlist of videos that I've made here in this story of an image series. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching, and bye for now.